Hey, everybody.
Alright.
We're
Morning.
live after some technical difficulties. We got George.
All of us.
What?
Tom just left like a minute before, and me and Michelle looking at each other. Well, I guess we're
Where did he go?
doing it again.
Where did he go? Anyway, yeah, so we got, I'm Tom, got George
Jordan.
and Michelle, and we're here on Facebook Live and YouTube streaming, and just wanted to share with everybody some amazingly exciting news. I wasn't here last week, but I did sort of watch the show. I was traveling and I was off island, so it's really cool that I'll have. I had the opportunity to return to Maui and go through the process of the quarantine, coming back to Maui without quarantining and learning the tips. So I did a video a couple days ago about the tips. I'm going to do an updated video because I wanted to make it better. I did a Facebook Live, I should say, that you can find, and. So yeah, it's exciting. So we'll talk about that in a few seconds. But what else is happening, guys?
Yep. So we're seeing visitors coming back again. I'm sure everybody's wondering how it's going, since the 15th. I just read a stat that Maui County averaged a little under 2,500 new visitors per day in the first 4 days. So this was the 16th through I think it was the 16th through the 19th or something like that. 15th through the 19th. And so, comparatively, they also said that last year around the same time, there was about 5,500 visitors per day. So it was right around half of the visitors coming in, which is still good in my mind, just because we just opened up the state and they have the new pre-testing. And Tom was saying, he brought up a good point that, they only can fit however many people on the plane and whatnot. So,
well, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and so we're definitely seeing it. I mean, we were just talking right before, Michelle was saying that she's, we're seeing more traffic on South Kihei Road and people in restaurants and whatnot. So it's good to see, hustling and bustling of businesses back open. I drove by a fish market I think last night, and it was just packed to the brim again.
Well, I think part of the thing is that not everybody is opened yet. There's like the hotels haven't opened. There's a lot of things that it's a process, right? It's reopening is something we've never closed down before. So reopening is a whole new experience for people. And I think, like Longi's has been open they opened up a couple of weeks ago ahead of the curve. So I'm seeing all these people walking into Longi's at night because it's the only restaurant open in the shop. And there's the return visitors. I think many of them are owners that have been wanting to get back, and so they're the more aggressive guests, or people that are aggressive is maybe the wrong choice of word, more willing to travel, and so we're seeing more people coming in. But the airplanes we have nowhere near as many flights coming into the island as we did in peak seasons. So it's all this balancing act of trying to figure out what's going on. When I came in, my flight was full. I don't know that there was maybe 2 empty seats on the plane, maybe 3. And it was United, and so they're booking all the seats. So it was interesting to see that. And you're right. It's there's going to be, and there's people wandering around with like, okay, what do I do? And this is closed and that's open, and they're trying to find places to go. You were working at the shops yesterday, right? At the for floor duty, and what was that like, Jordan?
I mean, there was a few people walking here and there. Whalers right across the way from our office is open. That little shop with
50% off, almost
50% off. Yeah. So there's people buying stuff there, and
Volcom's got 50% off sale going on too, in case anybody's interested in Volcom.
Well, what do you remember? Kind of what shops are open? I know that Volcom. There was also Lululemon.
Pearl, Lululemon, the J. McLaughlin, Louis Vuitton, Gucci.
And then restaurants. Tommy's is open, right?
Tommy's. I don't know if Tommy's is open yet. I know Longi's was open.
Oh, okay. But they're open.
Island Gourmet is open, and the hat store has been open on and off. Wiley Realty is open, and there's a couple other places that I know that are open. The Bamboo store has been open on the weekends. So everybody's got crazy hours, and normally malls are really strict, but right now they're just saying, hey, whoever wants to open. But you can go to the Shops at Wailea website, probably theshopsatwailea.com, and on their website, they show everybody that's open, what their hours are, when they're there, or when they're opening. So you can also, if you're out here and you want to know what's there, or you're coming out, you can get an idea of who's open and who's closed.
It's pretty interesting too, because I hadn't been to the shops in a while, and seeing the renovations, they're coming along, pretty well.
Yeah.
So it's looking pretty cool. I mean, it's looking nice. The center courtyard, they're kind of making it more. They're basically making it more modern. They took out the fountain, and they're putting kind of like this some green area and space and stuff like that.
They eliminated one of the staircases going up too. It's really wide open. It's like, wow, this is so nice because you can see through the middle of the mall now, where you couldn't before. I didn't realize how blocked in it was. And so, it's been a pain, but it will be nice. The front of our office coming in, they're redoing that, and it looks pretty cool. And then we redid our office too. So we got new pictures coming, we got new furniture in, and
yeah, nice. I was like, man, I could take a nap on the couch in the front. It's very nice.
There you go. We have our living room back in place. So I love it. So anyway, we were talking about the tips. If anybody is flying back in to Maui, my experience was I wanted to share the tips that I had 10 tips. Real quick, I'll try to buzz through these because I think it really was helpful as we were going through the process to figure out how to get back and going and doing it. So the first tip that I have is, the right flight and the right seat. By that I mean, I know some people came in the afternoon and there were 4 flights that landed almost simultaneously. So if you got in on that 4th flight, there's not a whole lot you could have done. You were going to just be deep in the line. But speaking of the flights, you want to. Oh shoot! You want to. Sorry, I got sidetracked. You want to get the best seat on the plane that you can. If you can afford first class, great, because you're at the front of the plane. If you can't, if you're buying coach seats, upgrade your coach seat. Try to get to the closest, the front of the plane, because if there's 100 people on the plane, if you're on the back of it, you're going to be in the back of the line. So really simple.
Is the sorry to interrupt, but is the line going out of the plane when they, everybody stands up? You have to space and all that. And
row number 1, and they now before they'll tell you, and at least on United, please, would rows 1 through 5 stand up and gather your things to exit the plane? Will rows, 1 through 10, and so they call it off. So they really manage the exit strategy for social distancing.
Interesting.
Second tip is, you have to get a test. You're supposed to have a state approved or Hawaii trusted COVID-19 test provider, and there's a website, and it's hawaiicovid19.com/travel-partners/, and that's where you can find the different authorized vendors. So what I realized was, because we had heard people talking about it, because we came out on the 2nd day it opened, is that it was hard to get a test. So it's all computer generated stuff. So you can only book your test 2 days in advance, and you have to book your test within 72 hours of your last leg departure time. So it's really sort of a little confusing. So what I realized is, knowing some of the way the systems work, is the computers turn over at 12:01 midnight. So I stayed up till 12 midnight and jumped on the CBS site, and I was able to go in and pick my test times, and nothing was selected for that day because nobody else was in there. So, stay up late, pick out your test times, because really it's a little challenging trying to get your test done within 72 hours. It's the more and more pressure that they're putting on it. But my tip is, stay up late, book your selection time, right? That now we met some folks on the plane, and they did not have tests from the authorized testing places, but they still let them go through. So I don't know if that's going to change or not. There's a lot of demand, and there's places where people are at that they just don't have the testing centers. So, and then also if you're coming in from the East Coast, it's a little bit confusing, because you've got to be, or not confusing, it's challenging because they're not as tuned into Hawaii travel, and also you've got to be on that within the 72 hours of the last leg, and it's multiple flights. So lots of things to think about. But if you get here and you don't have the test report results done, then they just tell you you've got to quarantine. They'll still let you into the island. So next thing is, tip 3 is get your test and time and confirm how long the results will take to get, but then also confirm that they have your right email and phone number, because that's going to be really critically important for them to send you the test. Number 4, after you sign up, once you get, the airline will send you a link to www.travel.hawaii.gov, and that's where you'll have to register that you're coming into Hawaii and fill out an application and a form. It's also where ultimately you'll upload your test to. The thing is that it's a really clunky system, and if you try to sign up on your phone, it's just a pain. So I'd recommend do that early. Do it from a laptop or a desktop computer. It was way easier to do it that way. And then when you're on there, tip 5 is they're going to ask you to verify. And I know sometimes people don't want to give information. I don't want them to have that. It's so important to verify your phone number and verify your email address. They're going to send you codes to your phone and send you codes to your email that you'll have to plug in. And the importance of that is when you're traveling or if you're on the road, they'll then send the very important QR code to you to get off the plane. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. Once you get the negative result back from your test provider, then you have to download that to your computer or your phone and then upload it to that Hawaii travel site. So it's really important that they have your proper information. And the other thing that we found really important is when you get that test result back, be sure to print a hard copy out of it. Don't just upload it and think you're good. When we got in, they couldn't read our upload because it was just hard to read. So they said, do you have a hard copy? It's like, yes, here you go. It's like, okay, great. And so that saved us a lot of headaches. We got there. I skipped one of my tips though. I realized, no, maybe I didn't yet.
Screenshot the QR code.
Oh yeah, that was the other one. When you're on the plane, this is for me, I'm a little older, as you guys know. Whenever I get off a plane, I always immediately get off the plane, go right to the bathroom. Well, if you do that, what I would recommend is when they make the announcement, we're going to land in 20 minutes. We're going to turn off the seatbelt sign light. Do what you have to do now, which means get up, go to the bathroom before you get off the plane, so that when you get off the plane, you can get right into line instead of getting sidetracked going to the bathroom. Because every person that gets in front of you is another couple minutes that you've got to wait, or another minute or two, or whatever that might be. So go to the bathroom. Make sure you charge your phone when you're on the plane. That's another thing, because you need your phone to get off of the when you get off the phone. When you get off the plane, you have to show them the QR code, and so that's really important. Just when you get the QR code, the government will send it to you. Print the version of that, as Michelle said, and then also screenshot it. Screenshot the QR on your phone. So when you're walking off of the plane, what happens is there's a lot of distractions, but as soon as you walk off, they want to see the QR code. They're going to do your temperature, and if you don't have your QR code readily available, they're going to push you to the side and put you in a place where they'll help you find it, but now you're getting back in the line. So my wife screenshot of her phone, and she was able to walk right off and had it available. I was trying to download it, and there was so much pressure on the internet bandwidth that I almost didn't get it. So I was a little bit behind her. So screenshot it, and then also print it, a hard copy of it, because it really definitely helps when you're having all the paperwork, not to kill trees, but getting through it, it was just much easier if you know you have the peace of mind to have the hard copies. Again, if you're using your phone on the plane, make sure you travel with a battery charger or the seat plugs, because they don't always charge. So I always travel with a battery charger just because I'm trying to be proactive. And then once you get in the line, they'll call you up. The screener will check all your paperwork. Again, if you have your hard copies, it helps. They'll get you through. Bring your entire travel group with you. They'll do everybody at once if you're in a group of family, and they'll give you what I call the coveted pink hall pass. And with that pink pass, then you can get through security and down to the baggage claim. So with all of that, between my wife and I, we made it through. We came in on a 9 o'clock flight, so we got in late. We were the only flight, so we had no other pressure. We made it through in under 25 minutes, so it was not a big deal. So we're excited about that. And then my bonus tip was, just use Aloha. Just, if it's busy, if it's crowded, just be patient. Everybody's trying to do their best job. The people were really nice. They're just trying to get it figured out. Every day they're learning and probably getting faster and smoother. But if you happen to be stuck in a line, if you came in when there's 3 or 4 planes, take that opportunity to share the Aloha, meet somebody that's in line with you, next to you. At least they have one thing in common with you, and that's that they love Maui, or Hawaii, whatever island you're going to. But you know what? It may sound daunting, but it's not. Having these tips, I was just talking to somebody this morning, and they came in on Tuesday, and it's like, "Did you use my tips?" He goes, "Yes, I did, and it really made a difference." So, just being prepared and knowing what to expect, I think, is such a great help. So, hopefully, it helps anybody who's heading in or wants to leave and come back, because I think we're going to see this quarantine avoidance for a while here on the islands. I think it's not going to be a month-long process. I think it's going to be many months that we're going to be going through this. So that's my thought. Anyway, any questions?
No, those are great tips. Thanks for sharing. I definitely have people that want to visit me now that Hawaii is open. So got to share those. Yeah. And they're also on the blog for everyone, tomtzach.com. Click on the little tab that says About, and then click Blog.
Thank you. That's right. It's all on there. And also all the links for the testing sites and everything are there as well. Jordan, you had a question?
No, I was just, I meant to do a thumbs up. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I think it's great that you're able to do it firsthand, and experience it, and just, be able to share that, because there's a lot of 2,500 people coming in a day. I'm sure that the airports are, so the line, I have a question actually. So the line you have to go through the security checkpoint before you get down to the bottom. So it's the first thing, right?
Yeah. You get off the plane, the National Guard is there. They take your temperature. As long as you're okay, it's like they take your temperature. The next guy is looking at you saying, "I need your QR code. I need your QR code." It's like, oh shit.
Scramble, yeah.
So you're scrambling, and they're telling you on the plane, but you're trying to get your luggage and all of that stuff. So there's so much distractions. Just have your QR code in a screenshot, load it on your phone, and open. And trust me, you'll get your temperature taken. You'll flash your QR code. They'll push you right in, and then they put you into a funnel, basically like a queue where you get in line, and then you wait there. And then when you get it's your turn, they have 15 or 20 people doing the screening. So there's a lot. So they're moving people through pretty well, but there's just these places that you can get sidetracked if you don't have everything in order. So that's why I say, the QR code shows the greeters that you've gone through the sign up process. So if you didn't even do that, man, they pull you to the side and then they help you go through all that. And it's really great. They have a bunch of people over on the side helping people get set up. But again, I couldn't imagine if they had, like, the one day on in the afternoon around 4 o'clock, they had 4 flights landing, or 3 o'clock, they had 4 flights land within 20 minutes of each other. So you can imagine the chaos that ensued. So,
right. Well, thanks for being the guinea pig, Tom. I know you just you solely took the trip just to experience it, right?
Absolutely. I have. I'm doing what I have. I'm taking it for the team, to help everybody, so that we can make things smooth as possible. Thanks. But it's funny, when I did the Facebook Live, I have had so many people reach out and say thanks. People are coming out. They're getting ready to travel. And now that people are getting here, I'm hearing from them. It's like, wow, that really helped. So it's just knowledge, right? And being able to know, it's really knowing what to expect really helps a lot. And not being afraid of the process. It's not a big deal. So,
yep.
So,
to move a little bit more too. We were talking right before we jumped on. You've had how many showings in the last week? You said
we were getting maybe 4 or 5 showings a week a couple weeks ago, and I think we had 5 showings over the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we had 5 showings. So definitely getting more action on that.
I've had a couple on my listings too in the last couple of days that were just sitting Sure.
And the vacation rental stuff, which we were getting no action on at all. Now the vacation rental properties are starting to get shown. So, and now they're starting to get booked as well. So it's sort of this double-edged sword. We've got people coming in. I talked to the front desk at Cam Sands, and they said, believe it or not, we have people walking up, renting units, just showing up saying, we need to rent something. So people are coming here without a place to stay, or maybe they had a place and they didn't like it. Who knows? But I found that interesting that there's walk-in rentals. So there's plenty of places to stay. That's not a problem. It's just, I think the hardest thing to get is the seat on a plane right now. That's probably the most challenging thing. The hotels haven't opened yet. The South Maui Resort hotels haven't opened. They're all going to start opening in the next couple weeks. Marriott and Fairmont and Four Seasons, they'll all be open by Thanksgiving.
Yeah, they're gearing up right now. My girlfriend works at Fairmont, and she just started work on Monday, and they're
prepping.
They're prepping. Yeah, November 1st they open. So I think all the hotels are, and the restaurants within the hotels as well are just doing all the back work, getting prepared. So
if you're here, that's what we were talking about earlier. Is there's just a handful of restaurants like Longy's has been just jamming, and which I think is great because Longy's I think was probably struggling a little bit. Now they've got an opportunity. They cleaned the whole place. I've been working their butts off over there because our office is right next door, and I've been seeing them working. And so that's cool. I love the fact that they've got this new opportunity to re-energize their business. And so we'll be supporting them for sure.
Definitely.
And new listings. I got a couple new listings I wanted to talk about. I've got an amazing 7,000 square foot house, 4-minute walk to the beach, incredibly private, 5 bedrooms, wine tasting room, private office, movie theater, living room, dining room, kitchen, family room that all sort of interconnect on an acre of land and a 4-minute walk to an amazing McKenna beach. So that's, if you can imagine, it's going to be relatively expensive. It's going to be at $11 million. And I'm so excited to get that property on the market. And it's really close to the $17 million oceanfront property. So I would love to see somebody come in who wants a lot of space, buy the oceanfront house and the house off the ocean for an amazing compound. So that. Pardon?
Is one's oceanfront and one's
across the street. Yeah. So
it's interesting that it's 7,000 square feet. You hardly see homes that big. I mean, even luxury homes are not that big. So
and a 3-car garage and a cottage. I forgot about those 2 things. And 70 solar panels and a huge pool and a hot tub and a sauna. I mean, the list just goes on. It's a really killer house.
And nothing else.
And green grass and a circular driveway.
You said I haven't seen it yet, but you said the finishes and everything are just over the top in there.
Michelle,
I saw Michelle yesterday, and she said she went and saw it, and she said she hasn't seen it.
No, she went and saw the oceanfront house yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Nobody else has seen this one that I'm talking about. So, and I also got a Kaimalu. We're talking to some folks about bringing that back on the market. I've got a house with a cottage. I'm sorry, a house with an ohana that's got like a very, how do we say it, Jordan? It has the ability to have a wide arrangement of configurations.
Flexible
floor plan. That's it.
Floor plan. Yep.
So that one we're going to be getting on the market too. That's going to be $1.3 million in South Kihei. And then there's something else that we're working on too. So we got a lot of things going on. Got a house in Haiku. That's a fixer-upper. If anybody's looking for something like that, a house and a cottage, just over $800,000, and a bunch of other stuff. So anyway, if you're looking for that if you're looking for anything real estate-wise, give Jordan, give myself a call, and we'll help you out. Can't talk to Michelle because she's not licensed yet, but she has gone through class, so we're waiting for her to get her license. So that'll happen sometime in the future. We'll have a big party when she does it, if she passes.
No pressure or anything.
No pressure. So, what else I got? Looking at my notes. Jordan.
Yes.
What did you do yesterday that I have in common, that we have sort of in common in the word world? Well, it's my boat name.
Yeah. So I did Talk Pigeon Tuesday, the series that I do almost every Tuesday, and this one was actually recommended to me by Lisa Pierce, who's our social media strategist, and the word was holo holo, and so it's a pigeon word that means to wander aimlessly, or like go out and have a good time without any destination. So I did a video on it. If you want to check out my business page, I don't know how we can post it. I think it's showing on here. Search my business page and you'll be able to find it. But Tom, I said to Tom, and what do you used to have a boat called that?
Yeah, my boat, when I had my last boat that I had in Missouri, we named it Holo Holo because I loved it. When I was looking for a name for our boat, I wanted a Hawaiian name. And I found that, and it was to voyage. When I found it, it was to voyage or wander aimlessly. And so it was a boat. And that's what we do when we would be at Lake of the Ozarks. We would just pull out of our cliff at the dock. We'd say, let's go out on the boat. And we'd just load up the boat. We'd grab our coolers, some snacks and whatever. And me and my wife and our girls would just jump on the boat. We'd literally back out of the dock. And when we'd get to the end of the cove, it's like, okay, which direction do you want to go? We would literally just wander aimlessly. And so when I saw the name Holo Holo, I thought that is perfect because that's the way we would boat in Lake of the Ozarks. And if you're not familiar with Lake of the Ozarks, it's 100 miles long. Where we were at, we were in the middle of the lake, and you could go right, left, and then and there's all these different places you could go. So I know the word Holo Holo.
That's awesome.
As soon as you said it, I said, "Oh, voyage aimlessly."
Sweet, you finally got one, Tom. No.
And I even know how to say it and spell it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, with that note, maybe we should all holo holo.
There you go. I think we have a little more direction and aim though than typically.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes
I get lost. Anyway, hey guys, great to be with you guys this morning. If we can do anything for you, if you want a copy of those tips, again, go to my website, tomtizak.com or lifestylemaui.com. Go to About Blogs, and you'll find it right on there. And happy to share that with you. If you want information about real estate, reach out to Jordan. Jordan, how do they find you?
My number is 808-264-4123. My email is my name, Jordan, Jordan, Kamikawa, Kamikawa. Can't even spell my last name at Gmail.
I've always had a problem with that too, Jordan.
It took you about a year or something to say my name. And then you pull me aside and you're like, how do you say your last name? But you got it down now. So. Yeah,
and you can always track me down at tom@tomtizak.com or 808-280-2055. We'd love to help you out. As I like to say, if you're coming to Maui, let us know. Check out the tips. Let me know what you think. If you're coming here, give us a call for a coffee, a Coke, or a cocktail. Whatever you prefer.
Nice.
Aloha, everybody.
Take care. Who's got the end button?